Hey, I'm the great and glorious and famous one day Nick Dutch, and I'm back on the camera one more time. And I've been asked in recent days about the true meanings of magical symbols and tarot cards. What are the real meanings of the cards of one particular deck? What is the real meaning of the five-pointed star? You see, Neo, the thing to learn is that there is no one true meaning of any single sign or colour or tarot card at all under any circumstances whatsoever. This is the most terrifying thing for many people who explore the occult and try and get involved in meditation and try and learn the meanings of symbols for their own occult work. And the reason for this is that there are so many people in the world who are always laying down the law, saying this is the true meaning of this tarot card, this is the true meaning of this sign or this symbol or this angel or this god. And why are they doing this? Because they want to set up their own cult. That's it, plain and simple. They've got their own ideas as to what they want to try and create in society or in the minds of people, and they turn around and say, this is the true meaning of the colour yellow, this is the true meaning of the Empress tarot card. But there isn't one. You see, the meanings evolve with you, and that is the purpose, as far as I can tell, of having any form of symbology associated with you, whether it's the crucifix, the most perfect magical sign of them all, a vertical line speaking of something of the divine, and a horizontal line speaking of something of the material. Was that symbolizing Jesus Christ, a material man infused with the Holy Spirit? Or was it symbolizing you as an individual with something of the divine, namely your mind, and something of the material, namely your body with all of its internal organs and functions? You see, the meanings are plural. There's more than one. Every single culture will have a very different understanding of the meaning of a vertical line, a square, a circle, a five-pointed star. And when you are doing any form of esoteric work, such as a meditation or something even more elaborate, the meanings which you understand for that symbol will affect the outcome within your mind. The same with words, incantations and prayers. Everyone is looking for the true meaning, or the true message, but there never has been one, and there never will be one. You see, the tarot in all of its majesty is just an attempt to define and crystallize in some pictorial and symbolical form aspects of the universe, whether that is the universe of the evolution of society or the growth of an individual from birth through life to death and hypothetically thereafter, or whether it is different stages of life, different emotions, different situations you can feel or find yourself in. This is a low-resolution allegorical guide, even the Crowley Thoth Tarot, with each and every single card of the major and minor arcana having its own significance and a certain variety of detail associated with it, is still a low-resolution picture of the real world. You want to know what the true meaning of life is? Well, get out there and live, and then you will taste it. I've often observed myself that when I do a meditation on a sign or a tarot card, as my understanding of that sign, so to speak, changes and develops with the passage of time, so does the effect it seems to have upon my mind, my emotions, my thoughts, and my feelings. And maybe, just maybe, it's only when you stop in exploring a particular meaning or a particular sign or symbol that you have created for yourself a religion that you feel comfortable with. But surely growth of understanding involves pushing those barriers further and further away, expanding your understanding, looking at the way that different people see the same thing, trying to get more detail or resolution. When I was going through the mill of one particular Wiccan coven, we were told, as we always are, about the four elements. And I started taking notes, thinking about earth, air, fire and water, and what they mean. I was being taught that water is there to nourish you and refresh you. It's the beautiful spring rain which nourishes the crops. Isn't that nice? But I was writing down notes of everything else. I was using my creativity to the utmost. What else does water stand for? Floods, tsunamis, storms, whirlpools that can suck people to their death. These are the things the water also stands for: the destruction of buildings, the destruction of societies, the drowning of cultures. But when I started writing notes on these things, I was stopped by the High Priestess, in case I started doing something that she regarded as evil. She was a Fruit Loop. Quite simply a Fruit Loop. If you're going to be given any symbol, try and understand it. Work out its ramifications, and how you would define one particular aspect of its meaning. If you want to, in your meditations, focus on water as being good for you, something nice that you drink, or the rain that nourishes your crops, then those are the things you visualize, and that's the kind of words that you would use in your mantras. But water isn't always like that, and sometimes you need different emotions, and different thoughts, and different feelings that you may wish to try and create. And that's why the other meanings, no matter what they are, can come into play. Just the idea of water can be expanded to cover an almost infinite number of possibilities. This is something that the occultist needs to remember. So when it comes to the tarot cards, the High Priestess or the Empress, for instance, how would you go about finding out what you feel the meaning is at any one time in your life? Well, you look at the colours. You do some research into what some people think various colours mean. And then you look into what other people think the various colours mean. And you expand the depth of understanding purely about those colours, and the positioning on the bodies of the characters, and the positioning of in respect to the character in the card, and what that could mean. If the grass is green in a picture, does it necessarily mean that this is a picture of green grass? Or is there another meaning to grass, or another meaning to green, such as the planet Venus may be? Expand your understanding, slowly but surely. Maybe think of shapes to start off with. What is the meaning of a square? What is the meaning of a cross? What is the meaning of a circle, a star, a triangle? And with the Empress, look up the word Empress in a dictionary. Find out what the dictionary definition of an Empress is. And then start researching other cultures and what an Empress did in various different cultures. Was the Empress purely a monarch? Or was the Empress someone who had some religious significance as well, or some military significance maybe? And if she has military significance, was she always good, or was she sometimes bad? And in what ways was she good, and in what ways was she bad? You see, tarot cards and magical symbols, or whatever you want to call them, are things which grow with you. They change with you. And all you have out there in the world are opinions. And it's up to you to do the research and slowly and steadily build upon a foundation. Maybe when you're explaining the symbols or the signs or the tarot cards or the colours to other people, you will have to use simple explanations because they can't understand detail or depth or creativity. Genius itself is just the use of creativity and intelligence simultaneously. This has been the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day Nick Dutch. I'll be back.